Welcome to Zone Coverage. We're here at Stewart's TV and Appliance in the Sub-Zero Wolf Kitchen for a weekly look at everything having to do with the Cleveland Browns. I'm Scott Petrak, Browns beat writer for the Chronicle Telegram, Medina Gazette, and BrownZone.com, and this is Jim Ingram, our sports columnist. Well, Jim, the Browns didn't play last week, yet they still kind of lost, and they've given us plenty to talk about. So obviously I want to start with that botched trade at the deadline. They tried to acquire Bengals backup quarterback A.J. McCarron. Paperwork didn't get to the league in time, and the trade didn't go through. So I guess I'm asking you, do you blame incompetence? Do you blame sabotage? Just how do you explain not getting the deal done?
Well, first of all, to have a press conference to address the fact that you might have sabotaged your own team, your own trade, it by itself speaks volumes about what's going on this year. I think the bigger umbrella is just incompetence.
Yeah.
I mean, no one sets up a trade and then screws it up right in the last few seconds. So, and by the way, this press conference that was yesterday should have been the day after.
Right.
The press conference is a week late for one thing, and I don't know if they were trying to get their story straight or what, but the whole thing from start to finish was a disaster.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And Sashi Brown is sticking to his story that, they did all the right things. They tried to get the paperwork in. They just ran out of time. And he does take some responsibility for waiting to the last minute. The fact is the Browns wanted, or at least Hue Jackson, wanted A.J. McCarron for months, and to wait till 5 minutes before the deadline doesn't make any sense. But he obviously denied sabotage. But what's left is a front office and a coaching staff that aren't on the same page. I think the relationship is deteriorating. Hue Jackson has complained about the roster for a while now, and then this is another move where it doesn't get improved. Let me ask you, can these coaches in front office coexist for the rest of the season even?
Well, they may have to,
Yeah.
but I don't think they will, because it's obvious that they're further apart now than ever. I thought it was very telling that Hue Jackson didn't want to talk about the front office side of it yesterday's press conference. So it's clear there's a huge chasm between these two groups, and it's growing more by the day because I think everyone realizes everyone's job is on the line. So it's pretty much like in every man for himself mode right now.
And you're right about Hue yesterday. I mean, we walk out to talk to him after practice, and he opens with, I'm not going to talk about last week, what happened here last week. I give him a chance to just say, hey, how's the relationship between you guys? Are you comfortable with it? And he wouldn't even answer that. So I think that does speak volumes. You wrote a column last week, Jim, saying it's time to blow it up. Everybody needs to go. Just take me through a little bit of why you think it's reached critical mass a year and a half in.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not one to be a knee-jerk kind of a guy normally in this situation, and especially in this situation where they've blown it up repeatedly over the last several years. But I don't see even one little iota of progress that they've made that you can hang your head on and say, well, this is better now because of the way they're doing things. Nothing's better. Not only is nothing better, everything seems to be getting worse, including the atmosphere in the building and the product on the field and the decisions they're making. It just seems like they're literally making this up as they're going along. And I just think there's no way to salvage one group over the other or even blame one over the other. So in my opinion, it's just time for a total reboot.
Is there anything that could happen in the second half of the season that would make you change your mind if they won 3 games or something like that?
Probably not. Yeah. I mean, 3 games sounds like 10 games when you say it like that. Maybe if they found a football guy that they could bring in before the end of the season, and then you could say, look, we got this guy, then maybe there's hope for reconciliation and they could put the thing back together. But I think it'd be very difficult now.
Yeah, it's interesting. We talked to Sashi Brown on Monday, and he's talking about signs of progress that he sees, and how the young guys are playing and some of the free agents are contributing. But you can't get past the wins, right? We can't get past 0-8 and 1-23, and that's probably going to be the downfall of everybody in the organization is they didn't win any games. But it had me wondering, and maybe this is too philosophical, but if they were just 2-6 with the same kind of play and same kind of relationship, would we feel that different about this rebuild if they just managed to win a couple of these 3-point losses?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a big thing. I mean, you're not asking them to go to the playoffs.
Right.
Just win a game, look really good in some other games, just some kind of tangible progress to be seen. So, you can point to and say, see, we're a little bit better in this area. But, I mean, this is, as we sit here today, this looks worse than last year. So not only aren't you getting better from last year, you're getting worse than you were last year when you were at an all-time worst.
Yeah. Maybe one bright spot coming out of the bye week. It's still too early to be determined, in my opinion. But Josh Gordon, the receiver, gets conditionally reinstated by Commissioner Roger Goodell. He's due back. He was due back in the facility on Tuesday. Before he even met with Roger Goodell, he talks to GQ magazine and gives a sit-down interview and says he's played every game he's played in college and the pros. He's had drinks and or smoked weed before the game. So my question is, should the Browns even take him back? Because we've been down this road before. They've been down this road before where he's lied to him. He's let him down. It was only a year ago when he walked away from the team. Would you take him back?
I would not. I mean, the last thing a 3-ring circus needs is another ring. And that's what this would be. I mean, of all time for him to come back to the team when everything's in total chaos now, and even though he plays a position they're desperately in need of someone to play that position, this is like the wrong time, wrong player, wrong everything. And I'm sure they're probably going to bring him back. Hope he has a good game or two and maybe trade him for some draft picks, which maybe that's the best you can do. But if I was running, I would just say, no thanks, Josh. We've been down this road too many times.
I think you're probably right. And I thought that way the last time. I said, oh, I'm done with him, which I probably said the time before that too. But when you're this bad, it feels like, just give us something. And maybe that's part of it, because I know it'll be a story and something to write about over the last 8 games, or he'll come back for 5 games. But it feels like it can't get any worse, so why not take a chance? But I'm with you. It could get worse, and he could hurt that locker room, and he could let him down again, and we just might be in for the same old thing with Josh. It'll be interesting, though, and we're supposed to talk to him this week. Before we get out of here, the Browns do play again this Sunday. They're back from the bye, playing at Detroit, which won Monday night in Green Bay. They're 4-4. Jim, I think I know your answer, but do you like their chances this week?
The Lions or the Browns?
The Browns.
Oh, the Browns. Let me think. No, I don't like their chances, or even the week after that. I mean, the Lions are looking like, especially after last night, like a playoff team, and the Browns are in just total chaos right now. So, maybe they can score a few touchdowns. Maybe Kaiser can get his thing turned around a little bit. But winning the game seems out of the question.
I'm with you, and we've talked about it. I can't pick them to win until they actually win a game. And Matthew Stafford and that receiving core against the Browns secondary, which is the weakest part of the defense, isn't a good matchup. Now, the Browns do have some players back. Jabril Peppers will be back. Garrett will be back. Maybe Jason McCourty. But you can't pick them to win. So my early guess is Lions 26, Browns 17, something like that. But, yeah, it just doesn't look good. Well, thank you for watching. We'll be back next week at Stewart's TV and Appliance.